Hi, it's Olivia, and today I'll be reviewing the Bridge of Terabithia book and the 2007 Bridge of Terabithia movie. I only just found out there's another Bridge of Terabithia movie that they made in 1985. I've got to watch that. The 2007 one, I saw it when it came out in theaters, so I saw the movie before I read the book. I will let you know when I get into spoilers, but I'm going to start off talking about the movie first, since that's what I saw first. Since I watched that film, it has remained one of my favorites. I've always found that movie to be so beautiful, so heartbreaking, but so beautiful and magical. I really like what they did with the special effects and just how they worked with the kids' imaginations in there. It came together really well. That is also one of the few, very few, this is a very exclusive club of movies that will make me tear up over and over again, because I even just rewatching it, I was trying to keep my eyes dry. I tried my hardest while reading the book to separate what I had seen in the movie, but that was extremely hard because it was a really good book adaptation. They followed the plot really closely, so close. I think there's even some lines that were word for word. So I no matter how hard I tried, I felt like I was reading the script in some areas. I struggled to rate the book just because of that reason. It was so much like the movie, and I don't really know what I would rate it if I hadn't seen the movie. The book didn't seem as magical, and I think the reason why it was in the movie was because of, movie magic. They're able to add all sorts of special effects. But the book was good. It just felt a little lackluster. And the book is a little more rural, if that makes sense. The school that you see in the movie is nicer than the school in the book. In the book, it's more run down. They don't have as much money. And they, instead of having a greenhouse like they do in the movie, it's more farm style. So he has more extraneous chores and milking the cow, that kind of stuff. I give the book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I would still actually recommend it. It was a very quick read, and it was just interesting to read, especially after having watched the movie. And I would give the movie a 9 or 10 out of 10. Like I said, that's one of my favorites. The spoilers now, if you've watched the movie and haven't read the book, you are completely okay to stay because it's the same stuff that happens in the book. You won't really be spoiled for anything if you decide to pick it up. So thank you for watching if you are stopping here. I have to talk first about the most obvious event, Leslie's death. I was surprised the synopsis on the back of the book, I don't have it with me because I checked it out from the library, but the synopsis hints at a major tragedy. Not even hints, it says they're best friends, or it's telling about how he meets a friend and then suddenly tragedy hits. When I saw the movie and the trailers, I was not expecting a tragedy to hit like it did with Leslie's death. Like I said, the book was more rural, and he had to a common thing he did was always milking the cow in the morning. He had a little bit tougher chores, and I think they made, in the book, his dad didn't seem as hard on him. In both the book and the movie, there's that distant relationship that he has with his dad, who seems to put a little bit more family relationship effort into his sisters than him. And you see that in both the movie and the film, but in the movie, they have that scene with his car keys where he gets really angry at him for losing his keys. And that doesn't happen in the book. Also, like I said, his school is more run down. I think in the book, the school was in a basement, and when Leslie came in, they had to squeeze in another desk, and it was really packed in. It wasn't like that in the movie. I'm just going to quickly go through some similarities and differences. Okay, a big difference is the description of Leslie. She does not look like she does in the movie. In the movie, she is very clearly a girl. In the book, and even in her picture, there's illustrations. She looks like a boy with her haircut. She has her haircut very short, and she dresses with pants. She dresses with pants in the movie, but they don't really highlight that as much, that her clothing is so out of place with the rest of the kids in the area. I also think Leslie acted differently in the book. In the movie, she seemed to kind of just let everything fly past her, nothing bothered her. She was very she's a very happy person and is able to just kind of have a witty comeback, and she's done. In the book, even the way she and Jesse first meet, is she's hurt by what he says or something. I don't know. She was a little different in the book, but they still have the same vibe. They're the beautiful, imaginative character and like free spirit. Leslie is just such a beautiful character, which makes it only the more heartbreaking when she dies. In the book, they foreshadowed her death like almost to the point of them just writing out that she was gonna die. Like on the chapter that she dies, I remember it was called A Perfect Day. That's when Jesse goes with his teacher to go to the museum, and he didn't invite Leslie because he wanted to just spend time with his teacher. He just didn't feel like inviting her for that reason. And that's when she went to try to go to Terabithia, and she died when she was trying to cross the creek. So I didn't really know what to make of the religious aspect of the book, but you know, in the movie there's a scene where they're talking in the truck about if you don't believe in God, you know, you'll go to hell. And in the book they do that too, except it's like right at the end of a chapter. Right at the end of a chapter it says, but Leslie, if you die and you don't believe in God, you're gonna go to hell or something. Like that was just the last sentence of the chapter. It said, but Leslie, if you die, and that. And that came back later with when she did die. You know, Jesse was asking his dad, like, is she gonna go to, like, it's so, oh my gosh, just thinking about that, it's so sad, it's so sad. But that was really interesting, I thought, that little part of the book. I also love Maybelle's character. She was like exactly the same in the movie. There's no difference at all. They chose a fantastic little actors for the movie. She was so adorable. Overall, the book was short and I enjoyed it, but it didn't amaze me. So let me talk about the movie now. The scene in the movie that makes me teary-eyed. Oh, also, when I was rewatching it, the last moment that we see of Leslie, it's like very obvious that they're showing that this is her last moment because she gets the frame is just all on her as she's walking away in the rain with her dog, and they make sure to get like a really good shot of her smiling at the camera. Like that's very clearly her last moments. And I thought that was so sad to watch, looking back, knowing what's going to happen. But what just completely breaks my heart is this one scene. After Jesse and Leslie become close friends and everything's like in a really good spirit in the movie, there's a scene where the whole classroom with the nice teacher, the one played by Zooey Deschanel, they're singing the song. I think it's like, someday I'm finally gonna let go. Yeah, it's that one. And they're singing it so happily, and they're all into it, sitting on the desk with their instruments, and Leslie is there too. Like everyone is there. It's very happy. The sad part comes when after Leslie is dead, they do the exact same scene, except the atmosphere obviously is a complete 180. No one is into it. No one's sitting on their desk. The teacher looks sad, and Jesse doesn't even have an instrument. His head is just laying on the desk, and even thinking about it makes me want to tear up. Like that scene and the song that's playing at the same, that song just, it feels a million times more sad. It breaks my heart. That specific scene. I keep mentioning the special effects. I love how it was like, even when Leslie was giving her speech about snorkeling, like you could see Jesse was picturing like bubbles coming around. Just the little touches that they added, and how Terabithia looked at the end was just so beautiful. Like I just love it so much. I'm gonna end this review here. The movie is amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, well, if you're still here, you've probably watched it. And the movie, the book is enjoyable, but nowhere near as the movie for me. Let me know any of your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in another video. Bye.